extend its operating hours. And because the current SRC operating hours is simply insufficient. Why? Because there is a demand from NUS community. As shown in our preliminary survey, where 70.9% respondents indicate their interest to exercise beyond 9 p.m. And to help SRC cope as a 24-hour operation, our plan of actions has already stated 6 different actions to help you cope with 24-hour operation. So we once again we urge SRC to take into our consideration of our plan of action to help you meet the demands of NUS community. And that is all for our presentation. We hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, I would like to confirm whether the operating hours of the SRC is until 9 p.m. or is it 10 p.m.?
As for the current situation now, should be 9 p.m.
Actually, to clear any confusion, actually certain facilities are open to 9 p.m. and certain facilities are open to 7:30 p.m. But the longest one will be actually at 10 p.m., which is the netball courts.
Okay, with regards to that, you mentioned that you want to extend operating hours to 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah, so from the survey, you have results saying that the users who are interested in using the facilities after 9 p.m.
Yes.
But is it worth it to actually extend it to 24 hours? Maybe because they are only willing to use it until say 11 p.m. Because public transport from NUS to outside, say the nearest MRT station, will end about 11 p.m. Is there do you see like
Basically because our proposal, right, the main target is the residents in the NUS. So the main beneficiary are them. So the public transport limitation is not the main factor in ensuring the economic benefits. And also, if you are talking about the cost of the 24-hour operation, right? This is when our system comes in, which is the access control system. So basically, if you the access control system and the automated lighting control system. So with these two systems, right, it means that the safety of the users are being taken into account, and also no wastage will result if there is nobody using the facilities. That means the motion, the sensors, right, motion sensors would not detect any motion, so there wouldn't be any electricity wastage. So it should be quite economical because electricity is only activated when people are inside.
I think maybe to add on a more macro scale, with such implementation, it actually means that we can cut down on manpower, as in the physical numbers, rather than extend the longer working hours. So in a way, we are actually cutting costs to a certain extent, but in the long run, it actually is more worth it because this system in place will always be there, and the overhead cost is actually spread across many months or many years. So if you think about it, it's actually quite worth it per month or per week or per day, as we are actually making it automated so that you do not need that much manpower on a daily basis.
Just one more clarification. With regards to the figures that you say 70.9% of your respondents actually say that they're interested in exercising overnight PM, right? Are those hall residents or are they just general students?
They were from a mix of science and engineering faculties, with a few from hall cert. So there are a total of 124 respondents. Most, about more than 90% of them were from engineering and science.
And we also conducted a survey in the central library and randomly choose the people, and in a certain period of time. So I think this should be random because the central library, all the faculties do it.
There should be a proper representation of the NUS population.
Even though we only have 524 respondents now, if when our proposal is approved, we can conduct a survey on a bigger scale to include people from different faculties and to have more respondents.
Speaking about this statement that you conduct a survey with 180 students and 6 staff. So, and safeguards. So what do you do?
Yeah, we use a STEAM questionnaire, and which means we give STEAM questions to both staff and students. And because we know that for AUS staff, some of them also be on campus. So I think as for the questions, also I think as for staffs, we have the feeling is also to use the sports facilities as well. So I think yeah, they were the result of that.
I don't see how safety-wise you resolve the issue, because if you go to the running track during 4 a.m. in the morning and you're alone and you just faint somewhere in the running track where there's not enough light, you won't be, nobody will see you through the camera. Well, it's 4 a.m. Nobody's gonna search for you at 4 a.m. How would you resolve that issue? How, if you don't have security guards, you just have patrolling cars that won't be able to see anybody in that moment?
With the automated lighting system, when somebody uses the track, there will actually be lights turned on. So it won't be coordinated.
Yes, but from the pictures you showed, it seemed like there are a lot of dark spots.
Well, that's the current situation. What we are trying to propose is the new system of with this automated lighting system. There will also be security cameras because the track is an open area. So there will be security cameras monitoring the track from the stands, and with a security officer in the head office monitoring the cameras, he'll be able to know if any accidents should occur while the person is using the track.
Also,
And if an accident has occurred and they don't realize about it and the light turns off and they don't see it.
This is when actually just now I mentioned for the fourth action plan, fourth action in the action plan, right, is that we propose for the training of patrol officers. That means that they have a standard operating procedure which actually includes them having regular patrols around the SRC premises and regular intervals. So,
But I understood it was by car, not by checking it.
What we are proposing is physically walking and patrolling. Yeah. Because there's no way that the SRC, the patrol cars can go inside the SRC. It's only by manual walking.
Okay.
There is a nearby workshop near the SRC for the security guards. So if emergency happens, I think they can be go to the scene very in a few minutes, very quickly.
Actually, maybe to clarify further, there's actually a substantial amount of people who run along the roads of NUS in the wee hours of the night. So actually by having this system, it actually ensures that maybe they would want to use the track instead, as it's brightly lit as compared to the roads which are not as bright in the night.
Okay.
Are you sure that they already do that? I'm quite sure that the security officers here are trained to give first aid in case of an emergency. Like, did you check with them whether they already do that?
Yeah, actually, they are having this this practice, but what we are proposing is that the security officers or patrol officers on duty, on night duty, they are going to they are going to do this night duty license because there isn't a practice of security officers doing patrolling around SRC at night because it's closed. So we are proposing them to do so at night. Yeah. So that's why we are saying that these newly hired security officers should be trained in addition to the already trained officers. Hope that answers the question.
Have you considered this area of cost whereby after installing all these sensors, right, then they pass the cost to the students, so there will be increase in school fees and whatever, because whatever NUS do, they will pass everything to us, then we have to pay more. So there will be some students who feel like they are paying for nothing because they are not that sporty kind of person and they don't use it at all, so they may feel like very angry for paying extra school fees. So how do you solve this problem?
First, I think as for the price issue should be regulated by the authorities. If NUS can just increase the price, just as its feelings, I think it will break some rules of the regulations. This is true. So I think NUS, when NUS